Hello, I'm Jordan LeBlanc with Exit New Options Real Estate, and I'm here today with Attorney David Rocheford of the Law Office of David R. Rocheford Jr. And I'm here today to just talk a little bit about the process of selling your house. I just recently finished up reading his book, Selling Your Property in Massachusetts, How to Sell on Time, Reduce Your Risk, and Move on to Your Next Property. And this was a fabulous book. It was quick and easy to read, and I learned a lot from it, even as a real estate agent. And I thought it was a great resource to educate sellers and even buyers, and to give them the tools to understand the process themselves before they even get into it, so they can avoid mistakes. So can you just give me a little bit of a background? What sparked the idea to write this book?
Sure. Well, that was the whole point, was to help folks that are in the process of selling real estate. I've been a real estate attorney for over 18 years. And in that time period, I've gathered a lot of experience representing sellers and buyers as well. Mm-hmm. And I get the same questions over and over from clients, seller clients, from agents, from loan officers. And over the years, I've just come up with a collection of those questions and put them into written form. And I decided one day it would be a good topic for a short book to help my clients. Because mm-hmm. I do have a lot of clients who don't ask the questions, but if they have the book in front of them, it's there for them to get the answer before they even have to speak with me.
Great.
But it's basically a resource for clients.
Mm-hmm. And I think it definitely hits the nail on the head in that department. Can you just give us a quick background of how you came to be a real estate attorney?
Yeah, so I started out as a real estate agent in the mid-90s. I worked for a local independent real estate company, mm-hmm. and I went to law school at nights. And eventually I ended up getting an internship with a law office, and it turned out to be a real estate law office. I didn't necessarily want to practice real estate law. I was looking at criminal law for a while. Mm. And then as the more I got into it, I realized that that's not what I want to do. I think real estate's the thing for me, because I had the experience as a real estate agent. And then in the law office, I got a lot of experience from the attorney that was there that helped educate me in the process of real estate law. And I did that for their office for about 3 or 4 years before I went out on my own.
Okay, let's dive into a couple of quick questions here that I think will help sellers, because it's really helpful to have the real estate attorney's perspective. So why is it important for sellers to be sure that they hire a real estate specific attorney?
Well, it's like anything else. If things today are so complicated that you almost always want to work with a specialist in a particular field. Doctors specialize, and you even have plumbers and electricians that specialize in certain techniques and certain processes. I found the same true to be for real estate. As a real estate attorney, I don't practice anything else. I don't do criminal law. I don't do bankruptcies, wills, trusts. I don't do any family law. I do strictly real estate. And in that, I even focus further on just representing buyers, sellers, and mortgage lenders. So I don't do any landlord, tenant, or zoning or anything like that. So what's important about that is that you're working with, if you're selling real estate, and as a seller, and you want the guidance from an attorney, just about any attorney can help you with contract issues and probably even the legal process of selling a home. But a specialist is going to have localized knowledge and the experience to deal with things that are going to come up outside the contract.
Can you give us a sneak peek into what it looks like in the real estate process on your end of things?
Sure. So when a client contacts me, they usually come to me through a referral from a local source, friends, sphere of influence, former clients, real estate agents, loan officers. They contact me about property that they're selling, whether it be their personal home or commercial or land that they're selling and they need assistance with. More often than not, they're already working with a real estate agent. And if they're not working with a real estate agent, that's my first recommendation to them, is find a good real estate agent to work with. The real estate attorney can do an awful lot, but as far as the footwork behind the scenes, the pricing and marketing, it's not something I can assist with at all, or any real estate attorney for that matter. So I always encourage them to start with a real estate agent, and if they haven't come to me with an agent already. So more often than not, they do come to me referred from one of my agent clients or business relationships that I have with agents. So that's where I'll get the referral. And I'll talk to them about the process is the first thing. I'll interview them about their intents, their goals, what they want to do with selling this property, why they're selling it, whether they're relocating, downsizing, divorcing, or whatever the case may be. And then I talk to them about the property itself. Now, the real estate agent will have talk them through seller disclosures and talking about the condition of the property, which is all well and good. But as far as any legal questions or concerns about the property, they get addressed in that interview.
Exactly, which is why we as realtors, we always say, I'm not an attorney, though you need to speak to your attorney on these matters.
And funny enough, I do the same thing. I'm not a realtor. You need to speak to your realtor about it. Because, you know, I get the question I get all the time is, gee, I got an offer and I'm not sure if the price is correct. I can't help you there. That's not a legal issue. But if you have a good agent, then you should feel pretty confident about the price.
Exactly.
And you can discuss it with your agent.
Well, you basically covered my next question, which was, can you explain from an attorney's perspective why it's important to hire a realtor?
Well, you know, on top of what I just said, you know, the real estate agent, a good agent that is going to take time to work with you and take you through the process of dealing with buyer questions, buyer issues that come up with the property itself, as far as needing to contact the local fire department to comply with smoke detector laws, Title V laws. More than anything else, though, I think it is the marketing and the pricing. People think that they can, I don't need an agent to help me price a house. I can go into Zwillow or Truly and get a price. Well, that's absolutely not correct. I'm sure you know that.
Right, yeah.
There are so many other factors that plug into that. Now, those resources are good to get an idea of where you are, but the one thing that Zillow and Truly and other sources like that don't take into consideration is the local market. What's going on? What other prices? What other properties are out there? What's unique about this property that you're selling? So, you know, I always recommend that they maybe go to those extra websites to maybe get an idea of what they might be worth. But as far as the bottom line price, you have to work with an agent that's experienced in doing that. And that's, I think, the main thing.
Yeah. And the final question, if you could give just one piece of advice to sellers to make the transaction go as smoothly as possible, what would that be?
I'd say don't go it alone.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many resources out there. I get clients that tell me all the time, this is the first time I've ever sold the property. And, you know, I joke with them, well, me too, this is my first one, so we'll work our way through it. You know, it's not true. I've done hundreds and hundreds of seller transactions. So, you know, I just tell them, well, you're not reinventing the wheel. Even though your property is very unique and special to you, it's not the first time real estate's been sold. And it's important to, you know, don't reinvent the wheel. Go to your resources for help if you're working with an agent. Ask questions, trust in what they have to say, and same thing with your real estate attorney and other advisors that you're working with. You know, just trust them and work on the process. Don't try to do it all yourself. Because more often than not, I find that clients that I end up sending the biggest invoices to are clients who try to do it on their own. And you know, even when I first get an interview with a client, I told you I asked them if they're working with a real estate agent, and if they, you know, they ask me what's my price, you know, what are your fees, and I tell them what my fees are. If they're not working with a real estate agent, I usually pad the fee by 15 to 20%. Because it's more work for me. It is a lot more work for me, not having those contacts on the ground. Or the buffer, because I'll have, the buyer may have an agent, and if the buyer's agent doesn't have somebody to communicate to professionally, they're going to turn to my office, and that makes a lot more work for me. So, you know, in a sense, I think that's just it. It's, you know, work with somebody that you know, that you like, and that you trust. You know, rely on your resources.
That's great advice. Thank you. Well, if you are interested in getting a little bit more information, go ahead and you can click on the link below, and you can get a free copy of this book from Attorney David Rocheford, and we'd be happy to answer any further questions that you have. As always, thanks so much for watching, and hope this has been helpful. It's definitely good. The two are better than one, right?
Oh, absolutely.
1 + 1 is greater than 2. So what you can do alone, you can do a whole lot more if you have the right team behind you. So
it's true.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Well, thank you, Jordan. I appreciate it.
All right.